the Eagles really lost that game. That's not the headliner of this video, but like I just did a community post on it yesterday. So I'm just like, I just thought about it like the Eagles really lost that game. Like book into a wild day of sports. Let's talk about it.
Being on team that you probably never thought you would be right now.
Just gotta find a way to win. You know, like you said, I'm not used to being on 2. Just gotta catch our momentum and get it started right away.
Hey, my name is Keith. I do Black Quarterback Series, and today, it's a lot of craziness that happened this weekend. I ain't even gonna lie to you. It's a lot of stuff on this notepad. Like, it's a lot of stuff on her. But we're gonna get started with the most egregious one. John Harbaugh gives up another win. So I'm gonna tell you what I think, and then I'm gonna tell you what people who follow the team think. Because I watched some of the highlights, and I didn't get the offensive line troubles because I didn't watch the whole full game. I watched it on Sunday, and then I watched the highlight film, and didn't really get a chance to watch the whole thing. But from what I saw, because I watched the fourth quarter because it finally came on in my market. Bad punt. They shanked the punt. Ended up the Raiders starting at the 40. Then they gave up a sack. Then proceeded to run the ball on 2 and 19. Then the defense as the mix of all this is going on, the defense is giving up a 10-point lead. And John Harbaugh is getting out coached. What are we doing? So let me give you Lamar's numbers before we get into this. Lamar was 21 for 34, 248 yards, touchdown, an interception that was not his fault. That was on, I can't even remember his name right now because he pisses me off all the time. Bateman. That was on Bateman. If I can find the picture, I'm going to show it. This ball should have been a catch. It should have been a catch. You guys are looking at it right now. It should have been a catch. But that's going to go on Lamar's resume. So, Henry, 18 carries, 86 yards, and a touchdown. And the touchdown was typical Derrick Henry things. Zay Flowers being Zay Flowers, 7 receptions, 91 yards, and a touchdown. So, these are the things that I saw. Brock Bowers, the Raiders' #1 pick, he was absolutely a monster. Anytime they needed a big play over the middle, or they needed a play in general in that fourth quarter, they went to the rookie. He had 9 receptions and 96 yards. I'm lost for words of how the Ravens lost. So now I go look at the vault. They do Ravens content and listen to John Harbaugh defend that guard that should not be there anymore. And that this is what I'm getting from the vault, that Ben Cleveland, the backup guard, should start. Lamar's getting killed out there. They're not running the ball enough. There's no reason John Harbaugh should be out-coached this much. Bro is getting out-coached so much. Again, I'm going to find this, that there is a gallery of all the leads that he gave up. Just the ones I can think of off the bat. The one in Miami, the one to the Colts, and this one. Those are the 3 that I can think of off the bat. He got to go. He got to go. He got to go. And people can be like, oh, my God, this is Lamar this, Lamar that. Lamar got to overcome coaching. And shout out to Wonder Ken. He said this. Coaching, he got to I dropped my notebook. It don't matter. He got to overcome coaching. He got to overcome referees. And he got to overcome incompetent teammates. The biggest punt of the game, and you shank it and have them starting at the 40. What are we doing? And so now they're 0-2 going in the Jerry world where they got to get a must-win. Now, I know Lamar has only lost 1 game against the NFC, but Lamar can't do it himself. It really comes down to, Lamar plays Superman. You don't win Super Bowls playing Superman unless you're Mahomes. And that's a different story. But there's no reason they should be 0-2. No reason they should be 0-2 at all. It's so frustrating to watch. And then watching the Eagles lose the way they just lost, it's just like, what are you guys doing? It's just incompetence up and down the roster on defense. And, it's kind of like the Eagles. the Eagles game. They lost because they couldn't get a stop in the clutch. The Eagles couldn't get a stop in the clutch, and so they lost. Baltimore couldn't get a stop in the clutch. They lost. So I'm off my soapbox. I'm on my soapbox. I'm off my soapbox. So yeah, it's just let's move on. So moving on to more somber, more happy things. Justin Fields is finally getting it together, and I'm so proud of him. Justin Fields was 13 for 20, 117 yards and a touchdown. My only problem with the Steelers, and the Steelers ended up winning. They ended up winning. They beat Denver. I think it was 20. I'll leave the score. I'll leave the score on the screen. But my thing is this type of winning sustainable? You can win. Justin Fields has never looked this comfortable at any point in Chicago, and I know that, and I know that. Can they sustain this? I think Justin has that. It's the starter position is his to lose at this point. So now that Russell Wilson story, I don't think that's a big deal right now. But can you win like this? Can you keep winning like this? It remains to be seen, but I'm not sure if they can sustain this. But I'm not going to complain. A win is a win. They keep winning like this, I'm good. I just love to see Justin Fields is making that progress and becoming more of a passer. He's becoming more of a passer and learning the quarterback position more than he ever did in Chicago. So I'm happy about that. They're 2-0. That's all that matters. Cincinnati and the Bengals. Well, Kansas City and the Bengals. Mahomes was 18 for 25, 151 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Burrow was 23 for 36, 258 yards, 2 touchdowns. So dead even almost, right? And I'm gonna say this a lot this episode probably. These teams seem to play dead even, and this game was almost dead even through it. And Kansas City fans can say what they want to. They can, oh my God, blah blah blah. Excuse me. Just like Patriots fans used to do. You guys get not phantom, because this is the right call. You guys get calls that no other team gets. That, and I'll put it on the screen. That is a pass interference call. But most times, they let the players decide who wins and who loses. Most times, they let the players decide it on the field. But when it comes to the Chiefs, it tends to always go their way. Now, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm not sitting up here saying, oh my God, the Chiefs, blah, blah, blah. But Mahomes has the most pass interferences called when he throws the ball since he's been a starter. So I'm going to leave it like that. Did the Chiefs win? Yes. Did they earn the win? Yeah. I don't know. I'm of the mindset that you let the players on the field decide it. And another person could be like, well, the players on the field did decide it because he had the pass interference call. You're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. But it feels fishy. It just feels real fishy that they always tend to be on the good side of these calls. Okay. The Seahawks and the Patriots. Underrated game of this week. Underrated game. Geno, 33 for 44, 326 yards, a touchdown. Jacoby, 15 for 27, 149 yards and a touchdown. And it's a lot. It's a lot going on here, so bear with me. DK Metcalf, 10 receptions, 129 yards, a touchdown. Smith and Jigba, I hope I said that name right. 12 receptions, 117 yards. I forgot Henry's first name. But the tight end for the Patriots, 8 receptions, 109 yards, and Gibson. And I was gonna save this till I got to his part, but every single time Gibson got the ball, he made a play. It was like he got the ball, he was out of there. Like, it was crazy. But he had this spin move, and then he had one where he thought he was dead to rights, and he kept going. Gibson was crazy. It was crazy. It was just great to watch, right? So I had a whole soliloquy I was going to go on about this game and how Geno Smith was controlling it and blah, blah, blah. But these are the exact same team. Like, when I got done watching it and I was looking at the notes and I was comparing it, these are literally the exact same team. Like, defensive head coach. Middling is disrespectful, but mid-level, quote unquote, journeyman quarterbacks. Jacoby Brissett more than Geno, but middle of the pack journeymans, right? A coach trying to prove himself, trying to inflict his defensive philosophy on the coaching staff. They're like literally the same team. So the fact that this game was won in overtime by a field goal does not surprise me because they're literally the same team, like almost identical. It's crazy, right? But it was a really good game down across the board. Um, More offense in the first half than it was in the second half. The second half was a defensive struggle. The first half was more of an offensive showcase. So, needless to say, really, really good game. Two of the exact same teams, just on different coasts. No, probably not different. No. It's right, different coasts. Yeah, two teams, two like the exact same team. The Patriots or the Seahawks of the AFC, and the Seahawks or the Patriots of the AFC. It's crazy. It was crazy, but really, really good game. Um, Shout out to Geno, and I think I said this last week. Shout out to Geno. He's been in my series almost since it started, and I would have never thought that. I would have never thought that. Geno went from punching dudes, getting punched in the face, to being an honorable citizen. It's crazy. But let's get the blowouts out the way. So I'm gonna just put their numbers on the board. Dallas got ran through by the Saints. I don't think the Saints are real, but Dallas got absolutely blasted by them, which is I'm kind of fearful about Baltimore next week because of that very reason. But it's Dallas. It's Dallas. Dak's cupcake numbers was 29 for 39, a touchdown, 293 yards and 2 touchdowns. CD had 4 receptions and 90 yards and a touchdown. Kamara, like, I don't know if you want to be MVP this year or what, but 20 receptions, 115 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Absolutely dominant. Absolutely dominant for the Saints. The Saints have not the Saints have not scored on any of their drives this year. I think they're like 20 for 20 or 15 for 15. Like, they have not scored. It's crazy what the Saints are doing right now. Who knew the Saints would be an offensive juggernaut? But so then we get to Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray got to be the biggest troll in NFL. You go on the press conference Monday and saying, "It ain't my job to get the best wide receiver in college football last year the ball," and then you go out there and Harrison has 4 receptions, 130 yards, and 2 touchdowns, to the point that where he didn't even need to play the last 3 quarters because it was over. Shout out to y'all for beating on the Rams. Y'all get extra credit for that. But it just, these numbers are ridiculous. 17 for 21, 266 yards, 3 touchdowns from Kyler. James Conner, 21 carries, 122 yards and a touchdown. Just absolutely blitzed the Rams. I think it was 28-0, and I stopped watching. It was like 28-0, and then the Dallas game was like 41-20. It was crazy. Those 2 games gave me a little bit of a rest for this wild weekend. And so, got a couple more. Did not get to Jaden Daniels. But from what I saw from Jaden Daniels, he was running for his life all game. Still learning the position. 23 for 29, 10 carries for 44. For 44 yards, 226 passing yards. Brian Robinson Jr. carried that team for the most part. 17 carries, 129 yards. Did not get to watch that game. I really wanted to, but it kind of fell at the wayside of all these other great games, right? So we get to Green Bay and the Colts. If I say AR, I'm talking about Anthony Richardson. So Anthony Richardson was, what was he? Anthony Richardson was 17 for 34, 204 yards, a touchdown, and 3 interceptions. Now, I wrote on his paper he didn't have no no plays, right? Other than the interceptions. Like, Anthony Richardson really needs pocket development. And I don't like getting technical, but he's such a raw prospect, and this is essentially his rookie year. So I'm not going to harper too much this. I'm not going to harper too much on Caleb. If he could get it together, he's going to be nasty. but it's also a Jamarcus Russell element there to where it's like, is he ever gonna get it together, you know? So, but I think he's more talented than Jamarcus ever was. So, but I would have loved to cover Jamarcus in his heyday those years. Let me know if y'all want to see a video of me like reacting to like Jamarcus Russell's BS. Because I definitely think about doing that in the summer. But yeah, AR just has to get it together. Because with these numbers, you're not going to win. But Malik Willis, welcome to the series as a full starter. I've been waiting for you. 12 for 14, 122 yards, a touchdown. But Jacobs, I'm sorry. Jacobs had 32 carries, 151 yards. They said, you are not, Malik, we love you, but you are not passing the ball much. And he didn't need to. They got it done. They ran away and hid. The score would tell you the game's a lot closer than it was, but it was pretty much a 10, 15-point game through the whole way. And so the final game, Mr. Deshaun Watson, 22 for 34, 186 yards. They won 18-3. If I'm the Browns or Trevor Lawrence's team, the Jacksonville Jaguars, I'm upset. This game could have went either way. The Browns could have blew them out. Not Washington. Jacksonville could have blew them out. It's like neither team played very well, right? And it's such a weird. It was a weird game where it was a bad game. I'm gonna be for real. It was a bad game, right? Deshaun did enough to win, but you saw the magic, but then you didn't see the magic. It was like, I see it, but then it goes away, and it's just. I don't know where I'm at with Deshaun. At least he played better this week. I'm gonna say he played better this week, and that's what I'm trying to stress to you guys that he played better this week, but he could play better. He could play better. Maybe I'm crazy for expecting Deshaun of 2020. Maybe I'm crazy for that. Or what was it, 2021 when they blew that lead against the Chiefs? Maybe I'm crazy for thinking that, but I think he can still get there. But they got the win because their defense is really, really good. And Trevor Lawrence looking real average. So they got the win. That's really all that matters. If he could just keep his head above water as Deshaun Watson is constantly get better every week and put it together, he can hold off Jameis, who's nipping at his heels for that starting spot. And they're running a 2-quarterback set. I don't know why Jameis is doing the sneaks. I don't know what that's about. But yeah, so wild week in the NFL, wild week in Black Quarterback Series land. Let me know what you guys think, and I will talk to you guys later. I'm sure we got a primetime game. I'm here every day, y'all. Peace.